multiply radicals. What we want to do is we want to take the two radicals that are being multiplied together and we put them together. So what I mean by that is by, in this situation, taking that 10 and that 20 and just putting them together underneath one radical symbol. So it would be the square root of 10 times 20. From here, all we need to do now is multiply what we have inside the radical. Well, I know that 10 times 20 is going to give me 200, so my answer here is going to turn into the square root of 200. When I have a situation over here, like this, same thing except for what we're going to do is we're going to keep the outside numbers together, and then we're going to keep the inside numbers together. So for example, when we have 5 square root 6 times 2 square root 8, we're going to keep the 5 and the 2 together outside the radical. We're going to keep the 6 and the 8 together inside the radical. So we're going to end up having 5 times 2 square root of 6 times 8. And so when we multiply everything together, we know that 5 times 2 is going to give us 10, and we know that 6 times 8 is going to give us 48. So our final answer is going to become 10 times the square root of 48. This example I have down here on the bottom is a combination of kind of everything we've talked about so far. So I have 3 square root 2 times 6 square root 6 minus 2 square root 24 times 4 square root 1/2. So taking a look at what we would do here with our multiplication, we're going to keep the outside numbers outside. We're going to put the inside numbers inside. And I'm going to do that for both sets of problems here. So I kept this multiplication problem together, and then because this is subtraction, I've kept this multiplication problem together here. So it becomes 3 times 6, my two outside numbers, then my radical symbol, 2 and 6, those are my two inside numbers. I did the same thing on this side, my two outside numbers, 2 times 4, and then my two inside numbers, 24 and 0.5, those stay inside. Multiplying everything together, 3 times 6 is going to give me 18, times the square root of 2 times 6 gives me 12, and then I'm going to subtract. 2 times 4 gives me 8, times the so now I have 18 square root 12 minus 8 square root 12, and look at how nice that ends up being, because now I have like radicals. Both of these have an index of 2, both of these have a radicand of 12, so I can now combine those. So when I combine those, I keep my outside numbers and I subtract. 18 minus 8 is going to give me 10. So our final answer for that big problem ends up being 10 square root 12. There it is.